Welcome to the Heal Girl podcast. It is your girl, L to the J to the. It's your girl, Anisha J, and I am here live and direct with our first Heal Girl podcast episode. I am so excited, y'all. Hopefully, you've got your tea. Hopefully, you are comfortable because this show is all about being intimate, being open and honest, and being real with ourselves for once in our damn lives, okay? Y'all, it's gonna get real here. You're coming along my healing journey, but hopefully you are healing right along with me. And I'm so excited to get started. As y'all can see, I have my $1 million planner here by Marketing by Monroe, and I am finally putting my vision on paper and making it happen. So yeah, I want to give you guys first a brief introduction of myself, and then we're going to jump right into today's episode because I feel like I chose the perfect topic for today, and I'm super excited to talk about it. So a little background about me. I am 27. I am a wife. I am a mother of 2 beautiful little boys. One just started kindergarten, and I cannot believe that I have a child that is in elementary school. It's crazy to me. I am the oldest of 6 children on my mom's side and the oldest of 2 biological children on my dad's side, but my dad has 4 kids in total. So, y'all, we're going to get a little more deep and personal about like my past, my childhood, and the things that I went through as a kid and the things that I'm going through as an adult. But today I wanted to kind of go a little deeper into who I am, and maybe you guys can relate to me and with me on a couple of things. So the title of today's episode is I'm a Virgo. I self-sabotage. I wanted to go with this title because in order to know me, you have to know that I'm a Virgo. In order to understand like my thinking and my like the way I process situations, you'll easily be able to pinpoint that I am what everyone considers in the astrology world like a Virgo. So that being the case, I really wanted to utilize today's episode to kind of dig deep into that. And I don't want to reach just Virgos. I want to reach everyone. I just feel like this is like a very relatable topic because I know that other people can relate on different levels of what I'm about to touch on. A lot of people think or say that Virgos are like the most complex and intricate sign when it comes to how we process situations, how we deal with people, how we present ourselves. So I definitely wanted to dive into it and actually dissect some of these character traits, and relate my personal life to these character traits, and then like wrap it all up and sum it all up with some sort of resolution to how I'm overcoming some of these not so positive things. So I'm going to start with the I self-sabotage. And I agree with this because as a Virgo, I definitely am always in my head. And I expect everyone else to live in my head. And when something doesn't go the way that I have planned it out in my head, I am the one to create basically the space to either dissolve the situation or progress it further. I don't really give people the space to kind of have a say in how, things go, especially as it relates to me. I self-sabotage a lot of stuff, especially like relationships, friendships specifically. And it's because of a couple of different things that I'm going to touch on. So I'm a Virgo, I self-sabotage, and I'm going to break that off. I'm going to branch it off into a couple of things. So I'm a Virgo. I am logical. Yes. I am extremely logical. Let me actually take a sip of wine because y'all is about to get a little interesting. Um, I can't believe I'm about to do this. This is a part of my healing journey, y'all. So if you relate, you don't have to be a Virgo to relate. I feel like everyone can relate to some of these character traits in one way or another. I just definitely think it's very popular to get on Virgos about these things. So I definitely wanted to correlate it to my sign, being as though I'm a Virgo. And I, put off a lot of these traits. So let me take a sip of wine to that. A couple of sips of wine, actually. Mm-mm-mm. It's about to go down. Y'all just don't know. All right. I'm a Virgo. I'm logical. Yes. I am very practical and I think very logically when it comes to situations. If you could look into my brain right now, if a situation is presented in front of me, in my brain looks like computer analytics. Like I'm crunching the numbers to see if X equals 3, then Y equals, like I'm crunching the numbers in my head because not only do I care about the way that I present myself, internally, I care about the way that other people perceive me. Externally, I don't care, right? The way I put it off to people is I don't care what you think about me. Internally, I do care how people perceive me, but only in a certain way. I don't care if you think I'm pretty. I don't care if you think my clothes are nice. I don't care if you think that my house is big or the car that I drive is a nice car. I don't care about those things. But I care about things like if I make a decision and you don't think I've made the right decision, I care about that because I care how I'm perceived and I care about how people perceive my intentions. So I'm very logical and I'm very analytical when it comes to a lot of things. So I definitely agree with this. And I think it wraps into I'm a Virgo, I self-sabotage. The next one is I'm a Virgo, I am a perfectionist. I would say yes to a certain extent. If I care about something, I want it to be perfect. And into the self-sabotaging like umbrella of this all, a lot of times when things aren't perfect, I tend to throw them away. And that's a really negative trait that I've learned about myself. And that's one thing that I'm definitely working on because nothing under the sun is going to be perfect. Nothing is perfect except God himself. So when I strive for this perfection, I throw a lot of things away because nothing is perfect. And I feel like the one thing that has really taught me, like, you don't throw away things that aren't perfect because you love things that aren't perfect. Like, I have children. My children are not perfect. Granted, they're perfect to me, but they do things, of course, they're not angels. They do things that they should not do. Hence, they're not perfect. But I love my kids to death. I would never throw my kids away. What? Like, that's craziness. My husband, our marriage, I love my husband to death. I would die at the blink of an eye for my husband. But we are not perfect. I would never throw him away. I would never even contemplate not being together or divorce or anything like that. So like being in these situations, having kids and having a husband has really taught me that I am capable of accepting things that are not perfect. And that's one thing that I'm definitely working on throughout this journey that I've been on of healing. So I can give myself a point for that one. Okay, I can give myself a point for that one. Okay, so now I'm about to get a little personal and vulnerable because now I'm entering into some of my toxic traits. I'm a Virgo. I cut people off quick. Yes. I have a really bad habit. I gotta take another sip. Y'all, we healing, okay? So please don't judge me, as Chris Brown says, and I won't judge you, because it can get ugly before it gets beautiful, okay? I cut people off so quick. And I used to think it was because I was protecting my peace, but I realized that it is because I dislike confrontation. And the reason why I dislike confrontation is not because I can't get confrontational, because if you know me, then you know that I could take it there, okay? Action wise. But I say I dislike confrontation because I dislike the person that confrontation makes me. Confrontation turns me into a different person, and I don't like that. Confrontation takes me to another level. I lash really hard with my tongue and my words, and I don't like the way that in turn makes me feel. I have so many stories. I wonder if I should tell y'all a story. But then the thing about stories is I don't like to talk about like people from my past, like whether it be friendships, relationships, because I could care less. But this is another thing about me. I have to realize that there are things that I need to be able to vocalize because I had a part in those stories as well. And me being able to talk through certain situations allows me to be able to heal. And that's a part of my healing journey. So yeah, I will tell y'all a story. So I remember in high school, I was talking to this guy, and there was just like, it was kind of tumultuous, basically. Like nothing good was of the relationship aspect of what was being pursued. Great person, great friend, but just not partner-wise, it would never work, right? And I remember there was a conversation had between me and this person. And at this time, I was like, I don't even want to talk to this person no more. Like, I'm talking to somebody else now. Like, I really could care less what I say to this person. And a verbal exchange occurred, and I was just dogging this person out, basically. Like, you ain't never gonna be, you might as well, I was talking really bad to this person. And afterwards, I felt vindicated. Like, yes, I finally said what was on my heart to this person, and now he knows exactly how I feel. And I felt great, like, immediately after. And then I talked to my friends about it. They was like, you said what? And I was like, yep, I said that. You compared him to who? And I said, yep, I did that. And I was happy because I'm like, all of this time, like, I feel like I've been quiet and I haven't really said what was on my mind. And I finally said what I wanted to say. And as a Virgo, you know that sometimes, well, if you don't know, but as a Virgo, sometimes our words are really hurtful. Like, we can say some really hurtful things because it can get, the things that play in our head that we don't say go deep. So when we finally let it be known, oh, it's known, right? Okay, sorry, I had to take a quick intermission because I needed to make sure we were still recording. We are still recording, so we're good to go. All right, so yeah, I said all these things and I lashed out, said what was on my mind, right? Really, it's all these things that I've harbored for so long because, again, sometimes I'm very analytical inside my head and I'll just cut people off instead of saying how I feel because I am afraid of confrontation, or I'm afraid of how people will perceive me or the intent behind what I do. So a couple years later, I talked to this person, and this person says, do you remember when you said X, Y, and Z to me? And immediately my heart sank into my ass, like literally, because I had not been that person for some time. And I really felt like again, I care about the way people perceive me, and I care about the way people perceive the intent behind the things that I do. And y'all, I said some bad things to this person. And it really struck a nerve for me that was something that I really needed to work on. So I said all of that to say is what I've learned in just the full circle moments that I've had in my life within myself and with other people is that instead of cutting people off quickly because I'm scared to say the things that I want to say, I now filter my intent. In anything that comes out of my mouth, I filter my intent and I give people the benefit of the doubt. Because I know that there are things and traumas that people have yet to heal from that I myself am currently working through. All right, so yeah, I say all that to say that that's something that I'm currently working through and healing through. So yeah, I'm working on that. So cheers to self-actualization and realizing the areas in which we need to work on. All right, let's keep going. Now, I agree with this next one. I say it like it is, or I don't say anything at all. This is true. Man, again, if you caught me some years ago, I would say some things to you, literally. Like I wouldn't have the don't say anything at all. It was either I'm going to say it to you or I'm going to do it to you, because that's just the environment that I was raised in. It was fight or flight. So it was one of those things where it's like, you're going to get it or it's just, it's settled. We'll settle it with words or we'll settle it physically. And I grew out of that really quick. When I moved to Georgia, because I'm originally from Chicago, born and raised in Chicago, then moved to Memphis, and then back and forth from Chicago to Memphis for a little bit because my dad lived in Memphis. My dad lived in Chicago. My mom moved from Chicago to Memphis after my great-grandparents passed away. And I was just back and forth for a couple of years before my mom got shot and we moved to Georgia. Y'all, I'm gonna have to have my mom on to talk about when she got shot, because that's a whole nother traumatic experience in my life that I'm healing through. That I didn't think it took that much of a toll on me, but yes, I definitely have PTSD, and I have like a lot of trauma from certain situations that happened in my life, and that's one of them. And I'm currently still healing through that. And that happened in 2009, early 2009. So yeah. Okay, let's get back to the topic, because we could go on forever. And that's why I really wanted to, have this podcast, because I know that you guys can relate on a lot of different things that we will touch on over the course of our journeys together. So I'm really excited. So yes, I do say it like it is, or I don't say anything at all. Ooh, this next one is really good. I am a Virgo. I disappear. Y'all. Some of my exes and some of my friends probably think I'm Houdini. Like literally. I have the ability to go ghost on you with number blocked, number deleted, all of that. And this is a battle that I have with God, because I ghost some people and God tells me, reach out to that person. Reach out to this person. And I'm like, God, what do I look like reaching out to them? Like, what? That doesn't make any sense to me. And I found myself always beating around the bush and like going to other people like, hey, can you reach out to so-and-so, check on them, make sure they all right? Or, oh, I looked on their Instagram, they fine. Like, I have this one female friend that I used to be cool with. And for a long time, I was like, damn, this girl, she did me dirty. Like, I will never talk to her again in life. And I literally disappeared on her. Like, she would text me about certain things and I would not text her back. Granted, she knew the friendship was over, but it was just like one of those things where it was like, it's either I'm going to say everything I need to say to you or I'm going to disappear. And I had to disappear on her. But yeah, I definitely disappear on people. And I think that that is a toxic trait. I think ghosting someone is a toxic trait because no one should make you feel like no one should have the satisfaction in knowing that they have bothered you so much that, you know, you literally have to, by all means, avoid them, especially when y'all have the same, like, friend group or circle. I feel like disappearing without closure is, like, just not that's something that we are taught is healthy. Like, oh, I don't have to get closure. I feel like it's something that we're taught is healthy, but then it reflects in our other relationships. So I feel like if someone is ever really your friend, or if you're ever really intimate in a relationship with someone, it's always best to end things. Like in high school, I had a boyfriend and y'all, this boy said something to me that literally scared the death out of me. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to this school, I'm gonna wait for you, and when you graduate, then we're gonna go to school together. And it scared the piss out of me, y'all. I was like, oh no, I gotta get out of this. I have to hurry up and get out. And I was just like, I don't want to be in a relationship no more. And I didn't even tell him why. I was like, mm-mm. And it wasn't like, it doesn't go to the point of I will leave you before you leave me. It goes to some of the other points. But it like gives, like, it just goes to show, like, I wasn't even trying to like argue the point of why I'm breaking up. That's a red flag. I'm out. You know, and I say that to say that those things, if you don't realize that, will translate into when you do have long-standing relationships, you know? I don't know. I think that kind of stems into some of my abandonment issues that I have with my dad. But that's another story that we're going to get into a little bit later. It's another story. All right. And then this last one I'm going to touch on really quick is I'm a Virgo. I heal totally different. Externally, I can ghost your ass easy. Internally, I'm holding on to grudges. I'm slick, vengeful. I will always need closure, but will never let you know. Whoo, yeah, that sounds like me I don't want to say a couple years ago. Me some years ago. It definitely does. And the reason why I say that is because that was some of the first things that I worked on when I started going on my like healing journey, my self-actualization journey. I realized that the things that I was showing externally were not the things that I was going through internally. Like, externally, what? Internally, it was like, I just want to say one more thing to this person, you know? Or I want to get back gang, you know? Or like, I'm very vengeful. So my success is I'm throwing it in your face. That's like years ago, you know? I feel like that's kind of how I operated for certain friendships and like relationships. But now, many years later, that was one of the first things, I definitely worked on. Now, I try to portray externally what I feel internally. And I try not to exude a lot of these self-sabotaging characteristics that Virgos tend to have. I'm really sad, though, that we have so many, like, negative people traits. We have a lot of great people traits, like I'm loyal, I'm direct, I'm upfront, I'm going to tell you the truth. I think loyalty is our biggest positive trait. I'm extremely loyal. Like, I don't think I have a friend more loyal than me. I'm so loyal, it don't make no sense. Like, and I'm honest. I'm extremely honest. Like, I'm going to let you know what it is, when it is, and it is what it is. I'm very loving. I'll give the shirt off my back. I do for others more than others do for me without even looking for anything in return. And I'm always there for my friends. Always. I can 100% guarantee that. If they call me today, they know that I'm going to be knocking at the door. So, what's something else I want to talk to y'all about? Let's talk about the moral of this. To wrap up basically this pilot episode, I want you guys to know that this is a safe space, and in the comment section, feel free to drop if you exude any of these character traits as well. I also want you guys to come back and tell me what you got from learning about me. You know, did you realize some things about yourself that you had not yet realized? Or has someone planted a seed that you do certain things, and when I just told on myself, did it like spark something in you to know like, dang, I do that too, but I've never realized it? If you have, then drop it down below in the comments. I would love to talk to you guys about this further. Again, this was just a pilot episode to get you guys to know me a little bit more, so you guys could understand me, how I operate, how I think, some of the things I'm healing from, because when I tell y'all it's going to get real, it's going to get deep. When I tell y'all it's going to get real, it's going to get deep. We are about to peel back the layers of this childhood trauma, this family trauma, this parental trauma, relationship trauma, friendship trauma. We're gonna talk about some things, and I just want you guys to understand that it's a lot, and it's hard to be as vulnerable as I'm going to be with you guys, but this is a part of my healing journey, and I hope that it inspires you all to be just as open and honest and real and raw with yourselves as I'm about to be with you guys, okay? That is the premise of Heal Girl. It is for you to realize that you will never heal being fake to yourself. The only way you're going to heal and progress in this journey of healing is if you realize that you can't lie to yourself. You have to be vulnerable, intimate, and open with yourself in order to heal. So we ain't going to be lying to ourselves, okay? We're going to be telling ourselves the truth, and it's going to hurt sometimes. It's going to hurt a lot of the times. Most of the times it's going to hurt. Most of the times it's going to hurt. It's not pretty. Healing is not pretty, but pretty girls heal, okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure you subscribe on all podcast platforms. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Heal Girl Podcast, HealGirlPodcast. We're also going to be on TikTok as Heal Girl Podcast. We should be there already, so make sure you give us a follow. And yeah, I cannot wait to see you guys in the next episode. Episodes dropping every 2 weeks. So I'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Talk to y'all later.